My only goal is that I can lift my own event kit in my car without some dude being like, "Can I help you? You look like you need help." And the sounds that I make lifting things, horrific. The sounds my joints make, horrific. Welcome to We're All Just Faking It. This is episode 12. Today we're talking about body image and healthy habits. We have Braylon, Dana, and myself, Steph. What's going on, guys? I feel like we haven't done this in I'd say a month, but it's maybe longer. I miss you. Hello.
It has been at least a month.
God, who has a life? What's that about?
It's all the holidays. How many more holidays need to be on weekdays so we get days off of work?
Yeah.
That's true. That would be very nice. So this topic was sparked because just yesterday we were actually having a conversation in your stream, Steph, about struggling to work out and not being happy with our bodies and just kind of feeling this overall overwhelm and discomfort with things.
Definitely. It's been I don't know. I've never had a healthy relationship with working out. I've never had a healthy relation. This is probably the healthiest relationship with food I've ever had, but now I'm at the point where I am so fucking sick of having to eat to survive. I'm tired. It's too many times a day that I have to eat, too many times a week that I have to find food and put it into my face so that I don't feel even worse the next day.
That is a huge struggle for me as well. Just generally feeding myself, and the fact that we have to do it 3 times a day, every single day.
Every day.
It's
When
exhausting.
does it end?
It doesn't. It doesn't ever end. I think the only thing that has been my saving grace is meal replacement options. Literally things that I can just drink, and I don't even care if I like the taste. I'll just chug it in the morning and boom, there's one of my meals out of the way. Don't have to think about it.
We've been doing smoothies a lot, but the only thing with smoothies is I now I want to chew. I like food. I like the smell of food, I like the taste of food, I like to eat food. I'm just sick of having to do it to survive because then it's not food that I want to eat, but I don't have the energy or the know-how to make the food that I want to eat, and I'm so sick of fast food.
I'm in that exact same boat, pretty much. Eating a lot of fast food, don't want to be eating fast food, also don't feel like getting the energy together to put together meals. What I do is meal replacement shake for breakfast. Or usually it's honestly just a drinkable yogurt. I get these ones from Trader Joe's and they're really cheap. And then I just drink one in the morning, maybe with a green juice, get some veggies in, boom, meal done. And then I'll usually have something super simple for lunch, like a sandwich or something that I can just whip up that doesn't require me to cook anything. And that might be eating something frozen in my air fryer. And then I'll usually go out for dinner, which is not great. Eating out 7 days a week is not good for you, but it's so much effort.
No, and we did the math.
I'm just in shock from how can you afford to eat out all the time?
Okay, so actually, that is a really good point, but we did the math. We sat down and we did it. For all the food that we buy from the grocery store and don't eat and it rots and we have to throw it away, in comparison to going out and grabbing a fast food thing, we actually save money eating out.
That's crazy.
Our groceries are pretty expensive. Groceries here have skyrocketed in the last year. So sometimes
it's not uncommon for us to put together our grocery cart and then look at the total and it's $300-400. I'm what the fuck did we buy? Take it out.
I've never had that happen, but it does. I will go sometimes and buy a meal. I'll just go to the grocery store and get everything I need for that dinner. And for 3 people, sometimes it's $25, which is almost exactly what we'd pay for 3 people to eat out for an evening.
Yeah.
So if you're not planning your groceries, oh, I'm gonna buy meat and use it in 2 meals this week, and do you know what I mean, thinking about how you can use it. If you're just going to the store for that day and buying that meal, it's the price is pretty even,
I'm sorry, that is
unfortunately.
way too much fucking effort. I used to do that shit. I used to have like the app that you put in all of like your pantry and your fridge items, and then it would tell you all the meals that you can create with it. It is exhausting.
Yeah.
I try to pick out my breakfasts when I go do the grocery shopping. I'm like, all right, I want to eat like these three things this week for breakfast, and then I do the same thing with lunch. Mostly I end up going for the snacks because it's like, what are some small snacky items that are still healthy, like hummus and carrots. I like hummus and carrots, so I make sure I always have that in my house. And when I'm feeling snacky, I go for the hummus instead of the barbecue chips.
Yeah. I think it's important to like not, if you're, at least for me, I have like absolutely zero self-control when it comes to eating things like candy and snacks like at all hours of the day, if I'm home. So my biggest thing is I just like don't have that many things in the house that I can do that with. I have to just not buy it, which is helpful. But I do make sure that I always have some type of snack. I'm really like a drink girl though. Like I love to have multiple drinks like at all times. So my whole thing is like I always make sure that I have like at least one type of like a tea or like a sparkling water or something like that at home that just is fun. I don't know.
No, I love that. I'm all for healthy alternatives. What are your hacks, Dana?
Um, well, I have the same thing for breakfast every day. It's just a pan of chocolate. Um, I
What?
just a pan of chocolate.
What the hell is that?
It's
Chocolate
like, do you know
croissant?
what? Do you know what a croissant is? And it has like two
Croissant. Yeah, fuck
pencils
yeah.
of like it has like two little like chocolate pencils in the middle of like in
Yes.
either end.
Have you guys seen the chocolate croissant video? Because if you haven't, I will send it to you because it's so funny.
I
Please
don't think
do.
I have. I know
Okay.
that all I know is that it's pronounced croissant,
Croissant.
and that's it. That's all I know.
You can actually, Trader Joe's has frozen versions of that you can buy. And what you do is it's really hard to remember. I have to set an alarm, but the night before you go to bed, you put it on the counter on like parchment paper, and overnight it rises to be like huge and fluffy. And then you bake it and you have your own croissant in your house, and
Sounds
it's delicious.
amazing.
I don't think you quite understand. I literally grab it and I eat it when I get to work. Like, there's no eating breakfast before I leave. Like,
You just on the way.
I'm ready just like past 8 o'clock to get to work for 8:30. Like,
Is there
there's
something
no like
about
time in the morning. I hate the
yeah,
mornings.
same. I whenever I had to be at work early or at school early, I was rolling out of bed as late as I possibly could. As the at the very last, can I get ready in 4 minutes? Yes, I can. I'm doing it. That was me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's me. And then I'm like, oh shit, I don't have enough time to set up my Spotify. Is a radio kind of day today. Just quick, get in my car and go.
I
Yes.
am the opposite.
You like a morning routine? A slow
I
morning?
if I can, yes. I didn't. Okay, so like it took me until probably my mid 20s to realize that the vast majority of people don't just like get up in the morning and then just immediately jump in the shower and go to work. The vast majority of people wake up a little bit earlier and they have like a cup of coffee or they have like a breakfast or they go sit on their patio and they read for a little bit. And that was a very foreign concept to me. I see the look on your face, Dana.
Yeah,
That's how I felt.
I don't understand. Well, actually,
No.
I
But
I
honestly,
do
it's
do that
amazing
now.
though.
Yeah, I go snuggle with my cat. I wake up in the morning before my husband. I go get the pets out. I feed them. I snuggle the cat. I just chill for like a good 20 minutes. But I don't usually, I mean, in that time, I will chug my yogurt. So that's my breakfast.
If I wake up early,
I
I just stay
love
in
that.
bed with my cat, cuddling her until it's like, oh shit, I've got like 10 minutes to get
Hey,
ready.
that's still
Oh
your
shit.
time, though. You know,
Yeah, I
Yeah.
your
mean,
relaxation time.
and then I go through Discord. I do my like horoscope for the day in my Discord, and like say happy whatever the day is, and then I check my Twitter. And normally you guys have like been awake while I've been asleep, so I check out what's going on, cuddle my cat, and then it's a major rush to like get to work. But you know.
My therapist told me to, so I do that too. Like I'll wake up and I'll check, like, not my email, but I'll check my work social media accounts, because it's like once I get to work I get sidetracked and I don't have time to do it. My therapist told me to stop doing that shit. She said it's very bad for your mental health that the first thing that you pick up in the morning is a dopamine pit, and then your body's chasing that dopamine for the rest of the day. So you end up having more bad days overall when the first thing you start with is something incredibly stimulating. So she's like, if you want to do like a book in the morning, so it's like morning pages is something I'm trying to get back in the routine of. Um, but I haven't broken that habit quite yet. But yeah, no,
Honestly,
I aspire to like get up at like 6 a.m. every day, wake and bake, go get ready, take the animals out, be at work by 7, leave by 3, 4 o'clock. Sounds amazing.
when I am in a period of time when I'm exercising in the morning for me is phenomenal, because I feel like, if like, what I'll do is I usually tell myself the night before, like when I'm in a good phase, like, okay, I'm going to exercise tomorrow morning. And usually for me, like setting that precedent, I will stick with it. I've had to practice for a really long time, like making promises to myself and keeping them, so that I know that like I can believe my word, so that when I say the night before, like I'm going to work out, then I actually follow through with it. And it's kind of nice. But yeah, doing it in the morning, I feel like, because I'll just get straight out of bed, put on my workout clothes, go work out. And I feel like my monkey brain isn't fully activated yet at that time in the morning. So it's like a little bit easier to work out, because I don't have as many of those thoughts of like, this hurts, I want to stop, I hate this, I'm super uncomfortable. Like, it kind of keeps all those thoughts at bay, and I can just like turn it off and go.
That's a good idea. Like I have not found a good time of day for me to work out, because like our bike thing is in our bedroom. I'm gonna ask Mike if maybe he can move it, excuse me, out of the bedroom. I don't necessarily have room for it here in my room, but at
It could
least,
fit in your
I
like
can
living
turn something
room,
on.
kitchen
Yeah,
area.
something. So it's like I would say in the morning, but then I'm bothering him. And then I have to like get ready, and then I'm waking him up or whatever, and I'm disrupting his morning. And we both get pretty grumpy when we're woken up before we're supposed to be up, because there's only so many hours of sleep that we get, and we don't necessarily have the time to come home and nap. So it's not fair. So we try to be respectful. But then I was like, okay, maybe like, sorry, back up. So I do it in the morning, and then I have jelly legs because I'm a fucking potato, and then I hate everything, and I'm in a horrible mood starting my day because I'm just very uncomfortable all the time. Like showering after working out is like the worst. I even bought a
Oh
stool
man,
for my
that's so
shower because I'm a
funny.
potato.
That's like my favorite thing in the whole world, is hopping in
Jelly
my shower
legs?
after workout. Oh, here's the thing. The
Oh,
jelly legs only last about maybe 25 days of like working out, and then the jelly legs are gone and you never have to deal with it again unless you take a break or you
okay.
severely switch up your workout. So that goes away. So
Okay.
for me, a post-workout shower is like, I get real sweaty when I work out. Like, I turn into a red tomato. I'm dripping, I'm covered, my clothes are wet. So like getting in the shower, I feel tired, and it just like washes all, I don't know, it's like my favorite thing. I love it.
So
It's
I need to
it's
get
like
through
it's
the
like you
jelly legs.
earned the shower, is how I feel. It's like the shower is the reward that you earned by working hard, and it just, those are the best showers. They feel so good.
Right. That's a good
I
perspective.
believe
So
you
I
that you
tried
can
at
get
night.
past the jelly legs.
I just need consistency. That's been the thing. So I was like, okay, I'll try it at night, but then I'm baked and I think about it
That's
and I just don't
difficult.
get out of
Yep.
bed and do it.
Yep. Yeah. I think too, people who are neurodivergent have, I think it's more beneficial for us to work out during the morning, because it kind of sets the stage for your whole day, that you like accomplish something really big. And that's like the first thing that you did in the day. Plus, working out gives you more energy. So it like just kind of, whenever I do it in the morning, I'm always like, wow, this is like an amazing day. Like, I just like always tend to have a really great day afterwards.
Everyone says it gives you more energy. So that's how I tried it at night there for a little bit, cuz I'm like, I'm fucking tired after. I'm going to nap. I want to go to sleep. Leave me alone. I want to
Yeah.
be dead to the world.
I think if you're
I
already tired, it's going to make you more tired in a way. If you're already like tired from the day, but if you're like just waking up, you might be sleepy, but you're not necessarily tired, right? Like,
That's fair. I'm gonna
yeah,
make him move that shit right after this podcast, and
do
we'll
it.
we'll try that out, because I need to fucking do it. Consistency has been like the word of the day in my world. If Steph, if you can just get consistent about it, the gains will come. You're a fucking potato. You're literally starting with a negative. All you got to do is get up to positive. Just break even, and then you'll see results and you'll feel great about it. Like, I've never actually seen results from working out, though.
That's because it takes like a year or longer. I would say,
Yeah, I
like,
don't do
physical
that.
results, you have to like, the only time I ever saw physical results in my body from working out was when I was doing very intense weightlifting and I was eating so much food. Like, I was getting like 100 or more grams of protein a day and like chugging protein shakes and stuff. And then my body did change. And that's the only time. And I was cycling 3 to 4 times a week and weightlifting intensely 3 to 4 times a week. So yeah,
Who
try to
was
not make
she?
that a goal because you will not feel good about not reaching that then, you
No,
know?
no.
Yeah.
My only goal is that I can lift my own event kit in my car
That's a
without
great goal
some dude being like, "Can I help you? You look like you need help." And the sounds that I make lifting things, horrific. The
because you will
sounds
get
my joints
stronger.
make, horrific.
Especially if you do strength training, like you will 100%. Like I was strong as shit. It was fantastic. I felt like a powerhouse superhero woman.
Right?
Like you will
I
get
want that.
stronger. It's just I don't know why it's harder for our bodies to like, and I think it's just hard for us too to like notice the physical changes. Sometimes I feel like I don't even know what my body really looks like, you know? And especially if you like make a lot of videos with yourself, like it's sometimes hard because you look so different on the camera. At least for me, like I get so used to seeing like camera Braylon that I like look in the mirror. I don't know. There's definitely like a weird disconnect there of like, what do I look like sometimes?
I've never seen my body like fit. I've seen like 16-year-old Steph.
Yeah, which that's
16-year-old Steph looked really
unattainable.
great.
Yeah, but you know what's the most fucked up is that at least me, like 15-year-old me, was like, if only I could lose a little weight. Like, and now looking back, you're like, God damn it, you were so
Shut the
thin.
fuck up,
You were so
16-year-old
thin.
Braylon. You're dumb. You're being a dumb bitch.
Yeah, thinking about your high school body and trying to get that back, not smart, not
No,
healthy, not
I
good.
just
You were
want to
not a
see
woman.
some improvement. I just
Yeah,
exactly. I
you were
look at
not
my
a
body
woman
all
in
the
high
time. I'm like,
school.
damn, girl, this is what your boobs look like. Okay, all
Yeah,
right, I'm okay with that.
yeah.
But that. So we're gonna get consistent. I have that fucking ring fit thing. I need to get back on that. That I can do in this room.
What do you guys think is like the easiest way to or best way to like get started exercising? Like you kind of did
Walking.
that recently, Dana. What like prompted you to get really into your ring fit and like what was the first thing that you did? Like can you explain like your thought process? Like did you pep yourself up for it? Did you just say like I'm going to do this?
So I just felt really shit about the way that my body looks, honestly. And it was just getting to the point where I was getting really depressed about it, and I just felt like really bad about myself. And I think I was talking to you guys about it, just and you were saying like, oh, do like this exercise, do that exercise and stuff, and then I was like, when I bought my Switch, I literally bought it with the Ring Fit, and I used it like a little bit to try out what like the Ring Fit, but I didn't really use it that much. And then I was like, well, I will try that. Maybe it'll make it more fun, like because my biggest problem with exercise is that it's just really boring and I hurt, and it's not like
Yeah.
enjoyable for me.
Yep.
Like whereas with the Ring Fit, you're defeating monsters, and like, yeah, okay, I hurt, but I've defeated 10 monsters, so like, who gives a fuck? Like, I
Moot.
destroyed the fucking boss, so yeah, of course I'm gonna
Yay.
hurt. I like killed like the boss. Well,
I love that. I
so
think
for me, just going back to when you guys were talking about the times that you exercise, like in the day, I found what was really helpful is coming home from work. And then before I sit down, before I have dinner, before I do anything, I get that exercise in, because if I sit down, then it's game over. Like that's it. I'm not gonna want to do anything as soon as I'm in my chair
comfy.
with my computer
Yep.
on. That's it.
Yep.
I will
Yep.
say actually another exercise. It's a TikToker, but I can't remember her name. She does walking workouts on YouTube.
Yeah, I think I've
So
seen those.
like
That the one with the Doja Cat playlist?
Potentially. I've done the Encanto one, and I want to say like 80s power ballads or something, maybe
Nice.
90s, which was really nice. And they actually make you feel like like get your blood pumping, and like
Mhm.
I'm like sweating at the end of them. But what I've been doing in the like bit where you're walking and not doing something, like a different workout in the walking ones, I find like I'll see something, I'll be like, oh, I'll just put that away, and I'll do the walking workout part while I'm putting
Oh,
something away.
nice.
So that's been really handy as well. But I don't want to sit here and be like, oh yeah, I do all these things. I haven't done this for like a month.
We fall off the wagon. That's my like
I
biggest
don't know
problem
what
is that
happened.
I get so good and then all of a sudden I just stop. It's like
But
I don't
do
know
you
if it's a
find you
neurodivergent
realize you,
thing.
because like I only
No,
realized
sometimes I
like a
don't.
couple of days ago, and I was like, oh, I can't
Why
remember the
did I
last time I
stop?
exercised. Like, when did I stop doing that?
Hmm.
Like, why did I stop doing? I know I stopped for a bit because I was ill.
That could be
Um,
it. Yep, and you
and I
just
stopped
forget.
because I was ill, and then I did like one of the ring fits where you have to do loads of squats to like jump over, and then there was one where you have to keep doing the squats to jump higher and higher, and by the end of it, my legs were dead, and I couldn't play the ring fit for like a couple of days because I was in so much pain from it. Like just just like the squats, my legs are like going down the stairs. I'm like,
Yes.
ah.
The worst is like sitting on the toilet too. Like you're like, oh, you like slam down on the toilet because your legs are dead.
Dude, I don't
um,
even know what I did, but I somehow stressed like my left under thigh muscle and it hurts
Oh yeah,
so
those can get stressed and that's
bad.
terrible pain. Dana, though, you
Just the
pointed
left
out
side.
two amazing things. I think especially if you're neurodivergent, but this applies to everyone too. The two biggest things you can do if you want to set yourself up for success with exercise is one, finding something that is fun for you. And that does not mean that you aren't in pain or that you aren't, you're still exercising your body. It's going to come with its aches and pains, but that it's a little bit enjoyable. Like I do cycling because the music is high energy and it's often EDM and it's like feels like I'm at a rave. The way you do the ring fit, like yeah, you're in pain, but you're beating monsters, and that's exciting and gives you satisfaction. And then the other thing that you said was like fitting it into your schedule in a way that it there's no obstacles. Like you get home and you immediately say, I'm doing this right now. And before I sit down, and I think that's super important. Or like me waking up and doing it first thing in the morning. Like before I grab my phone, before I do anything, the second I get out of bed, I put on my workout clothes and then I go down there and I do it. I think those are like the two most important things if you're trying to get into moving your body more. Um, find something that you enjoy, make it fun in some way, and make it fit into your schedule in a way where there's very little obstacles for you to overcome.
I also find I have an exercise bike in my room, and like I've been trying to do it more often, but I haven't been able to. But watching things and sitting on the bike, because I'm sat down either way in my chair, on my exercise bike, I am sat down watching something. So why not be sat on my exercise bike pedaling a little bit while I'm watching? It doesn't
Yeah.
have to, I don't have to be like full on like,
Yeah.
whoa, let's go, like on my
Mm-hmm.
exercise bike.
Just
Like,
any movement is really
but yeah,
helpful.
just moving a little, almost like as if you're just doing a steady, slow walk, but
Yeah.
you're on your exercise bike.
It's like
I
those people
so
that have the desk treadmills.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Or those little
So tempting.
the bike ones, but it's just literally the
I think
pedals.
Steph has one of those, don't you?
I have one of those. You know where it is, guys? It's on the opposite end of the room, stuffed underneath a thing because it got in the way of me putting my feet down on the ground. I kept kicking it. It was very annoying. And honestly, I should fucking pull that back over
You
here. That
should.
shit
Pull
was
it
like one of
out.
the best things. I'm gonna do that thing like watching TV. I did do that one night. We were watching a TV show and I jumped on the bike. And while we were watching the TV show, I was pedaling. And it, like, honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hated it. Like, it made the show go from 45 minutes long to about 3.5 hours long, is what it felt like. That was the longest fucking episode I've ever seen in my life.
See,
Another
for
thing that
me, the
helps.
TV
Oh,
show would make it go quicker for me.
Yeah,
yeah.
no.
Something else that
It took
helps me
forever for me.
too is like knowing and understanding that exercise isn't really meant to be fun. and like getting that, like not setting yourself up for failure by going like, this is going to be so fun, I'm going to love this, because even when I was like working out the most, I still didn't enjoy it and it still was not fun.
Yeah, I hate it. Hate working out. It's just not a good feeling for me.
It's
We're
really
working on that. We're
interesting.
working on remedying that relationship.
I find it really interesting. My favorite time to, well, it's not really my favorite time until I'm like halfway through it, but I don't do it as often as I should. But when I'm really angry about something or really upset about something, um my exercise bike to get all that aggression out, and listening to, like, for me it's Lizzo, because I love her so much, honestly, genuinely love her so much. I'll blast that in my headphones because like I want to be like cautious of the people that live in my house. But just
That
like
is the
pump into
best.
it.
I love
Whenever I
that.
feel bad or I'm having like a bad day, I go straight for the bike and I just like hammer it out. And then I feel 1,000 times better afterwards. Like it really does just like boop, brain back to normal.
I need to remind my brain about that, because like I'm always like, oh, I feel like shit. I'm just gonna sit here and wallow. And I'm like, why? Why do you do that when you know that if you do the exercise bike or you journal or whatever it is, you feel so much better? Like I have to remind my brain, because like I could just go on the exercise bike and feel better about my life.
No, because
Arguing with yourself because you're being ridiculous.
I do the exact same thing. I'll literally be laying in bed like, I did not want to work out. I did not want to work out. I did not want to work out. And I get up and I do it anyways. And I get on the bike. And like 5 minutes in, I'm like, wow, I love this so much. I'm having so much fun. Why are you so dumb? Like literally this. And like every time I'm like telling myself like, Braylon, don't forget how much you love this. Don't forget this feeling that it gives you. And then the very next day I'm laying in bed. I don't want to work out. I hate this so much. I don't want to do it. Like the
Make a
mental
TikTok.
battle.
Make
The
a
me-
video.
Have your alarm clock just be you going, I love exercising so much.
Seriously. Oh my god, that is such a
Record a
great
message for
idea.
myself that's like,
Yeah,
Braylon, you love this. Don't forget it.
Do you
literally.
want to be me today? Do you want to feel like this?
Yeah, right.
I've been doing like leg stretches and stuff in bed. That's been handy. Like just like my own body weight, and just I don't know. If I'm laying there, I might as well be like stretching, at least working on flexibility and mobility and shit.
To be fair, my friend at work, at lunch times, we go for walks. And if I don't feel like it or it's gonna rain, we walk to like Lidl's and back, like around Lidl's, and that has been really great because we just walk and talk. So like half the time you don't even realize you're walking. The worst part about walking at the moment is just that it, like, halfway through you're like absolutely boiling hot because it's the sun's on you. But other than that, it's just nice. I think if you have like, maybe if you have a friend or somebody who also wants to not even just lose weight, but like wants to exercise more or just get into more of a routine, you could always just have like a little walking buddy where you can talk about your day or have a vent.
Buddy system
Honestly,
is
my
so
favorite
helpful.
my favorite exercise buddy is someone that will vent and rant with me about work or whatever's going on. Just have a little complaint. It helps the workday go, well, the exercise goes so much quicker.
And it's like you're fired up talking about it, fired up into that.
Yeah.
I keep getting TikTok served to me. Not ads, but it's like there's like a Phoenix women's walking group, and it's a lot of people. So it's like you're probably not going to be bothered if you went and joined. I ended up joining their Discord. I'm tempted, but now that it's like summertime, I'm like, it's a little bit hot outside to be like just like out doing stuff. 100 freaking degree weather. Cleaned up our backyard this morning. It was a little bit ridiculous how hot the sun is here.
Yeah, the buddy system I think is a fantastic idea. Me and my sister work out together. Sometimes me and my husband work out together. It helps immensely because if you really don't want to do it, the other person's like, come on, it won't take that long. Let's just do it. Like, let's just go. Like, we go on walks a lot. And I told myself, like, I am never going to say no to going on a walk again. Like, no matter how I feel, I don't care. Like, no matter what, I'm going on the walk. And sometimes I'll be like, ugh, like, I don't want to. And my husband's like, come on, remember what you said? You never don't go on walks. Like, let's go. And like, he encourages me. So I think it's super helpful to have a friend if you're able to to just get any kind of movement in.
Yeah,
Something that
that's
I find
been
really
a
interesting
struggle.
as well is like depending on who you're with, but you'll find you'll end up talking about something that you didn't realize was on your mind, like when you're walking. And so like you end up getting it out of your system, which for me, I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't realize one, I was worried about that. And two, now I've talked it out, I feel so much better. So then not only is the walking and the exercise helping make you feel a bit happier, so is like talking it out and getting all the like anxiety or the feelings out of your head. So that when you get back to your house or your car or wherever you end your walk, you can feel like, okay, I feel so much better now. Like, oh.
Yeah, my sister
Giving
and I go
new
on bike
therapeutic
rides.
meaning.
It's
Yeah.
good. My sister and I go on bike rides like out in the world, and we just like talk the entire time. And we'll go like accidentally. We'll be like, oh shoot, we rode like 10 miles. Like we don't even
Yeah.
think about it because we're
How do
literally, and
you
we're like,
get back?
we're not going fast. Like like we're not going super fast, so it's not like it's exhausting. It's just like beautiful outside, and we're chatting, and next thing you know, you're like, oh my gosh, we've gotten so far.
You know, it's not even that like the way 16-year-old Steph looked is what I'm after. I miss the energy. I miss the endless
Can we
energy
ever
that
get that back though?
16-year-old Steph had.
Isn't that just from being a
I don't
child?
know. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like there's adults in the world that like exercise regularly and eat right and like have good attitudes and like go to therapy and shit that would tell you like, yeah. But I don't really think those people are real sometimes because they're kind of fucking obnoxious.
It is hard to know how much is real and how much is for like social media.
Yeah.
Like you can portray yourself as this like the amazing person, but like I probably won't believe you unless you like have some kind of flaw, like, and you're real with people. Do you know what I mean? And it doesn't even have to be like a big flaw, but if you can just like, not everybody is positive all the time. You can say like this person is
Yes.
annoying or this thing is really annoying or, oh, do you know what? I've had a bad day today, but that's okay.
It does make me wonder, and I feel like it's a little cynical of me and it's a little bit toxic, but are you really that happy? Are you actually that happy? Or are you just telling me you're that happy because you want me to believe that you're that happy?
I'm actually a very, very happy person.
I don't really
Even like
even doubt that though. You genuinely just like emit happiness, positivity.
I just like
You're
my mom.
also very communicative. That's like I feel like the biggest difference, like why I enjoy hanging out with you so much is because like you say the things, you communicate the communicative fucking things that you need to communicate.
Yes,
I
I
can't
can't
fucking
stand
stand
people
people that are just like,
don't
I'm not going to
communicate.
say anything. Okay, fuck off then. I don't know, man. I can't think for you.
Or
Be
people who
What were
better.
like
you
don't
saying,
talk
Tina?
to you for ages and then they're like, oh, you didn't know I wasn't like happy. And I'm like, how the fuck am I supposed to know that if you don't answer any of my messages or like you don't talk? Like, how am I supposed to know that you weren't happy? Like, maybe
That
just
is
like
true.
shoot me a message.
You guys usually know when I'm having a bad day because I'll be like, I do not feel good. I am not
Yeah.
having fun. Like, help me. What do I do?
And that's why we have like the supporters like chat where we like support each other because yes, we are all supporters in Braylon's Discord and we help people. But like at the end of the
We
day,
all need help too.
yeah, and we should all
Help
be
me.
able to feel the need to help, like ask for help, and also we can help each other, like, you know,
Yeah. Having
like
a
Listening
support
therapists
to the
group
have
tea.
is,
therapists,
yeah, that's true. Therapists have therapists.
you know.
Having a support group is so important of any kind, even if it's just like two people, it doesn't have to be a whole group of people, but having someone you can go to for support. But I think what I was going to say, going back to like being happy, the biggest thing that made me kind of have like a switch up was just like practicing gratitude more often and like realizing like I talked to this woman who wrote a book that I read, and I met her, and she gave like this talk on her whole life story, and like her life was horrendous. Like it was a very terrible life, and at the like worst and darkest moment of her life, she said she sat in her car and she made a list of everything that she could be grateful for in like the darkest, deepest, most terrible time of her life. And that kind of inspired me to be like, it doesn't matter what's going on with your life situation. There are always things that you can be thankful for and be grateful for, and you can focus on those. And if you choose to focus on the good aspects of what's going on in your life more than you focus on the bad ones, it just, you will be happier. It's like,
Puts
I don't
things
know,
in perspective.
it seems so simple to me. It's just like, at the end of the day, everybody has a lot that they could be thankful for. We just sometimes take stuff for granted. Even like this book I read said, if you're sitting on a couch and the couch is comfortable, like take a moment to be like, I'm really thankful for this couch right now. Like, that's so grateful. Like, if you are using a blanket and it's so soft, just take a moment to be like, wow, like this is the nicest blanket and I'm so comfortable and soft. Like, it's all the little tiny things. And if you practice doing that day after day after day, or Dana's Stitch plushie, it becomes more of a natural habit, and then you just do it, and then it's just like, yeah, a shift in your perspective, I guess.
I do two things that I find has made me feel like I'm more positive about things. Well, at the end of the day, it doesn't make me feel like one bad thing happens and I'm like, oh my god, I hate my life, which is like a big thing for me because that
That's
was me
huge. Yeah.
all the time. The first thing I do is I did the 100 happy days challenge, but I've done it like changed it a little bit for myself, where I want to have one thing that made me happy every single day this year, and then at the end of the year I'll have 365 things that made me happy, even if it's just like, oh, I went to Lidl's today and it made me happy, or my cat, it made me really happy today.
That's
And
the
the other thing
key.
is,
That's the key.
yes, it doesn't have to be big. Everyone makes this whole big deal out of like, oh, it has to be a big thing to make me happy. And I always say this, like, you let one small thing ruin your day, but you don't let one good thing make your day like better.
Yep.
I, in my little gratitude journal that I had, every single day I had, in the morning, I had to write 3 things that I was grateful for. And I kid you not, it was often like the comfort of my bed, the warmth of my house, the car that I get to drive, my cat that's fluffy. Like, it was always just these little things. Like, I get to spend time outside and the weather is nice. Like, it was never like, these massive major things. It was always just like something little that it was like, that just made me have a beautiful day.
I love
On
that. I need
one
to
of
I need to
my
get back
days,
into morning pages.
one of my days was the fact that I just used my air fryer.
See? Yes, I love that, Dana. That is just, it made you happy. It's great. Like, why would that
I
not
made a
make you
jacket
happy?
potato. Great.
Yes, and it was probably delicious.
It was really nice. It was crispy on the outside and fluffy on the inside.
Sometimes for me, it would be like, I had a great conversation with a friend, like the little things, people.
It is. I find I try not to get so annoyed with it because I know people are trying and people are like going through their own growth and their own healing, and it's hard, and I know it's hard.
Mhm.
But like there'll be people that will like do like a what they're grateful for or something they're happy about, and they end it with something negative. They're like, this was good, but then this happened, or oh, I'm grateful for this, but actually this ruins it or something. And I'm like, no, it's okay to just be happy about that one thing and not have to like say something that takes away from that.
Everything
Do you,
before but is bullshit.
Dana, do you feel like you've worked on, like, over the past like year or more since I've known you? Do you think that you've like love yourself more now as well?
I think so I always I used to always just like immediately I would do something wrong and I'd just like be like, you absolute fucking piece of shit. Like, why would you
Oh
do that? You're like
no.
such a dickhead. And now I'm like, oh my god, you're so silly. Like, I always try and use the word silly because I always
Me
feel like
too.
that's the
I
word
do
I
that
would
a
use
lot.
with children. Like, oh, isn't
Silly
this so
goose.
silly? And then so I feel like it takes away from
Mm-hmm.
like the word means nothing to me, really, silly. So I'm always like, I'll be like, oh my god, that's so fucking stupid. And I'm like, no, that was silly. Silly of us. Silly Dana.
I
Let's
love
move
that
on.
though. I do,
So
you know
I
what I
definitely
do
try
sometimes?
and correct
I
that.
laugh at myself. Like, if I sometimes have to go up and down the stairs like 3 times to my bedroom, and like if I have to go up a third time, like when I'm going up the stairs, I'm just laughing at myself because like it's just ridiculous. Like, it's nothing to get mad about. It's just very silly that I had to do this. Instead of getting mad, I'm like, this is entertainment.
I definitely say things in a more positive way as well. Like if some I'm like if I'm like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you just did that." Like but I'm not like, "Oh my god, for God's sake, I can't believe you just fucking did that." It's more like a, "Oh my god, I can't believe we just did that. Did we really do that? Oh no."
And
Okay.
that's nicer, though. That's a way nicer way, you know?
Yeah. And I
Like if
find myself. Oh, sorry, go
if
on.
your child did something that was like, they dumped milk all over themselves, you'd be like, are we really doing this right now? Like,
Yeah.
really? Like, like,
Like, is this like for real?
yeah.
I mean, God, I
Um,
hope that would be your reaction. Poor kid. You fucking piece of shit! How could you do this? How they melt? It's like $5.
yeah, I know because I had my own ticket for a while in Braylon's server, and like I know Braylon definitely helped me with like reframing my thoughts, but at the same time now I kind of think like about like one what I would say to other people because I'm never ever ever as hard on other people as I am on myself, and like why? Like I guess I expect better of myself, but then like no one else. Like there are people in this world that don't expect any better of themselves and they go around thinking they're great and they're not. So why can I not give myself a bit more of the benefit of the doubt, you know?
That is true.
Exactly that.
There are so many people out there acting so confident and so full of themselves that absolutely should not be. And then there are so
Yeah.
many of us who should be acting confident and we're just not.
It's the imposter syndrome.
100%. Dude,
Yes.
I have those conversations with myself all the time. Like, just trying to put it in perspective for myself. So I almost like manage myself in my
Hmm.
role. Like, I put
That's
myself
really
like,
smart though.
okay, I was my own employee and I was having this issue. What would my advice be? And it's like, okay, well, Steph, you are literally doing two jobs and you're working like at minimum 10 hours a day, which is way too many hours a day. And you did not take a lunch today. Have you had any water recently? Are you taking care of yourself so that you can do these things? And it's just like kind of talking myself back down off of feeling like I'm just failing everything. Because,
Sounds
like,
like
yeah, Steph, you are dropping balls, but like you have a million and five things to do. So just chill and take a second, go back to it, finish in its entirety, move on to the next task.
it sounds like you have a really good inner parent.
It's getting better. Since I stopped telling myself that I am a piece of shit on a daily basis, it has definitely gotten a lot better. Like, I'm a badass. I work
Yeah.
my fucking ass off. I have
Yeah.
climbed the fucking ranks in my industry. I know what I'm
Yeah.
doing. I'm just a little bit overwhelmed right now, which is understandable because I am alone.
I feel like even in the last like 6 months, like that is like huge growth for you to like have gone because you were beating yourself up so much.
Oh, I'm
And just to
so
hear you
mean to
say all of
myself.
that right now, like you know what you're doing and how hard you're working and how good you are at your job and you can like be proud of your accomplishments and that's just amazing.
It's honestly kind of terrible though. Like the part of the saving grace was the bar is on the floor in
Well, yeah.
Arizona as far as standards. So like I'll tell you exactly when it happened. I was stressing about doing social media, and then I go and look at competitors' social media. I'm like, oh, you could literally post anything, and it would be better than this. Like, you're good, Steph. Chill.
It annoys me like so much that like people like you are like amazing and for some reason we just see ourselves like as like so much lower than we really are. Like we don't see ourselves the same way as other people do. We see ourselves like you said your go-to used to be like that you're a piece of shit, and that has always been my go-to as well. And like why is it so hard for us to see our own worth? Like why do we always have to kind of be hard on ourselves instead of being like, oh my god, you managed to like get as far as you have so far. Like that's really amazing.
And honestly, it's exactly what you said earlier. You would never talk to somebody else like that. Why would you talk to yourself like that? Like, looking back, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, Steph? Like, why would you do that to yourself? You're such a bitch. Who fucking told you it was okay to act like that?
I think it's like society. Like, I think humans at our core are like loving and kind and like really thoughtful. Like, if you look at children, like, children are not naturally in their little brains going, "You piece of shit, you fucking suck." Like, at least I feel like that's not the norm, you know, for like a young
Yeah.
Right.
child. It's definitely something that we learn somehow because I don't know. I think I don't have the answer, but I definitely think if we lived like in a utopian society where like all our needs were met, you know, and everybody's needs were met and everybody was chilling, that people would mostly be kind and loving and caring and nice and to themselves and others.
I think
Do
as
you
well
guys
you
like?
are.
Sorry, go ahead. So
Oh
I'm
no, it's
changing
okay. You go on.
subject.
Oh, you're
I'm
gonna
changing the
change this.
subject.
Oh right. Okay. Okay. We are like a byproduct of our environment, like not only from like our parents and what our parents say to us and the but also what our parents say to themselves. Like if you have a parent that's really hard on themselves and they expect better from themselves, you will internalize that. Like I remember seeing someone say like if you are constantly on diets and you're constantly like talking about if you have the same body like kind of type as your child and you're constantly saying to yourself like and your child overhears you saying like oh my god I'm so foul I need to lose weight or like oh god my body is disgusting and your child has the same body they're going to internalize that and they're going to grow up thinking that there's something wrong with their body even when there isn't and they are perfect the way that they are um not only that but like I think we have spoken about it before on the podcast but a lot of time that voice in your head hasn't come from you it's come from somebody growing up like a lot of the things that you say to yourself may have been said by somebody else you just don't remember it anymore or like you've internalized it as a child so that's also something like that's hard to kind of relearn because if you've grown up that way and you've grown up thinking like to be hard on yourself or that you're not good enough or you know you talk too much you're annoying you know you're always in the way like oh, why can't you just be good like why can you not just stay out of the way be quiet and just be good for once that is something you're going to internalize
Yeah.
and then you're going to end up being like when you're older oh my god why can't you just do the work why can't you just be better at your job why can't you get all the things done that you need to get done why aren't you good enough and that sucks that's
Yeah.
horrible
Really bad.
It's a
Yeah.
hard process to get out of that thought pattern too.
and it is literally all linked and it's why like and it's so funny because well it's not really funny because it's about childhood trauma
It's
sorry
not funny, is it? It's not funny.
Can I tell you guys something really funny? It's actually not funny at all.
no sorry I desensitize myself to stuff sometimes with my psychology that I like forget I'm like oh my god this is so funny it's not funny but like I think the like bar for good parenting is actually quite low to not give your child trauma you just have to show them like 40% love like not even like 80%
I'm
or
sorry,
like
that's fucking
40%
hysterical. Because the bar's on the floor.
Yet so many
Less,
people still
less than
suck.
half. Less than half. The bar is less than half. It's a
literally
failing grade.
see
That's
I said
crazy.
it was funny you know
My parents did a pretty decent job. Like, my mom never talked bad about her body in front of us. Like, I never saw her standing in front of the mirror, like picking at herself or, you know, like even body checking or anything. Like, never saw her doing that. Um, and I always like tell my parents, I'm like, how did you, like, I never was really hypercritical of myself. I was like, how did you raise a child without having that critical voice inside of me? I don't know. Props to them. Whatever they did a decent job because I'm fucked up in other ways, but I'm really nice to myself.
love that. I'm at the point with TikTok where it's like if I see like a TikTok comes up and it's like if your parents did da 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 da, then you have blah. I'm like skip. Yeah, I get it. I'm broken. I'm sick of it. Stop fucking telling me. Get this shit off my For You page. Show me how to fix that. That's what I
Yeah,
want to see.
literally though. I know what I've
Tired
got.
of
Fix
it.
it for
Yeah.
me.
Listen, we've established that there is something fucked up. Okay. We are on to step two.
But also, like, I suppose if you've been bullied as well at a young age, that is also like, do you know what is like so interesting to me? Like, bullying is traumatic and will cause trauma, and like I feel like schools don't take it as seriously as they should, because like if someone is bullied, I would say 100% put that kid in therapy and let them like sort that, like talk through their feelings and work through stuff, and also help other obviously healthy coping mechanisms, but also have somebody safe that can tell, be nice to them and give them a safe space to talk about things. Because like so many times schools are like, oh yeah, we have anti-bullying and stuff, but what happens if a kid's bullied? Nothing. Like literally nothing.
Literally nothing. Bullying was the fucking worst. The more I think about my childhood, which is getting gradually a lot more and more. I've been doing what is it, EDMR therapy with like
Oh.
the eye movements. Tetris, by the way, has been proven as EDMR therapy use. So if you play Tetris and think through some of your bullshit problems, that's helpful. That came from my therapist. I did not Google that. But just kind of like thinking through that shit. And I realized that going all through school, I really didn't understand what was going on. I don't think I'm like slow or anything. Maybe a little bit on the spectrum, but like there was definitely a disconnect between what was actually going on and my understanding of it, so that I could participate as like a normal quote using air quotes here as like a normal child would. And that kind of fucks me up because I'm like, fuck, what am I missing now as an adult in the workplace that I'm not just comprehending? Because no one else in school noticed that I was having this issue. They just thought I was a fucking weirdo and I got made fun of for it. Like my entire life. And now I embrace the weirdo and I'm okay with it. And it doesn't matter as much anymore. But I do wonder if I had actually comprehended what was going on around me, how much different my life would be now as an adult.
Do you know what I think? I think that's a bit like ADHD, ADD, because I my mom always used to say when I was a little kid and like even into like high school that like I literally lived in my own bubble, in my own world. And she always said like no matter what happens, like you literally just live in your own world and like you make the rules and you just do whatever you want. And I feel like that's definitely like I dealt with that same thing in like younger years. Just like I was doing my own fucking thing. I had no idea what was going on with other people. Like I was social enough that I like could play the games and, get along socially, but like at the end of the day, I was just always in my head, like just completely in my own little world.
I spent 98% of my time as a child in my room.
Oh
And
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Oh,
was
like
always
hours.
100%.
grounded. Like my mom would
Were you
punish me by
playing?
sending me to my room.
Like
Well,
did you
I was never
play?
allowed to like socialize, and they would take away like all of my toys, right? Anything that they thought they could take away from me to punish me, that was like my punishment. I got my belongings taken from me. At one point my
Ouch.
mom went in my room with trash bags and took literally everything out of my room and then gave me a set of clothes every day. She was a fucking psychopath. That's another story. But they would never take away like my books or my art supplies, because what kind of horrific human being takes art supplies away from a child? So that's I sit in a craft room now.
Yeah,
Like,
you do the same
fuck you,
thing.
mom. Like, this is me now as an adult. And it's like that was I mean, in hindsight it was like I guess good for me, but that's really where my love of video games stemmed from, because that
Oh,
was the only
yeah.
thing that I had available to me. I went to two birthday parties my entire life. One birthday party dropped some heavy news, and then the other birthday party I don't even remember because it was so short-lived. Like it was just I did not socialize with people.
I did so well in my room by myself as a kid. Like my mom always talks about how she could just leave me in there with my Barbies for like hours. Like which is funny because I do the same thing with The Sims now. I'm like, bye, I'm going to my room and I will be playing The Sims for the next 8 hours. Thank you and goodbye.
I wouldn't change it for the world. I very much I love this. And it's what anytime I'm craving like in-person human interaction. No, you don't. No, you're not. As soon as I leave, like I went to an industry event yesterday, 2 days ago. That was a lot of fun, but like it was the perfect length of an event. It was 2 hours max.
Oh,
And
that's
then
great.
everybody fucking went home.
That's
I
great.
was
I
like,
love
this is
those.
awesome.
See, for me, my
It was
mom never bothered grounding me because, like, I never really went out. And, like, it probably a punishment would be like, oh, we're going to go to a social event, would probably have been actually a good punishment for me because I just hated being, like, going out. I like being in my room. All my things are in there, you know? Like, why would
Your
I want to
creature
go
comforts.
anywhere where
okay.
my stuff isn't there? Like, what's the point in, like, why? I don't really like going out with like going out and seeing people because half the time it's just everyone's so judgy, or like you have to be constantly aware of what you're doing because all of a sudden next thing you know you get a paragraph saying, oh, you've done this wrong and I can't believe you looked at your phone or something, and I'm like, I didn't realize this was a problem. There's too many social interactions and rules that you're gonna get wrong at some point. It's so exhausting. But then like I don't feel like I'm not a social person because I stream and we do this, and I find this so enjoyable. I could talk to
Yeah.
you guys all day and I
I
wouldn't be
know.
tired. And but like going outside and talking to people, I'm like, oh no, this is too much, too much stress.
introverted extroverts. I'm
We
okay with it. I'm happy with who I am.
we have been watching Love on the Spectrum on Netflix, which is so so good. Just such a good show, and it has made me realize how much of a social game that we have and how much it makes absolutely no sense. Like the things that we do and just the little rules that we have and the things that are appropriate versus what's inappropriate, it's all made up. It's literally
Completely
all
made
made
up.
up. And it's just because certain people have certain preferences. And I hope that we can like move to a world where, and I think that we are, I think that people are less concerned about their appearances now. People are less concerned about like when it comes especially to like work and like dressing professional, like that means something completely different today than it did 30 years ago. So I hope that we move to a more like understanding society where we don't feel like we have to play all of these games because it is exhausting. Like,
I agree, but I think there's limitations. I don't think you can have like a openly free and non-judgmental society like that when you have this many people involved.
yeah, I
So I
know. It
think
would be
like there's
great.
certain things that we just need to not do. Like please do not get on a FaceTime with your 15-year-old fucking friend and talk about Fortnite without headphones. Please don't fucking do that in the middle of the
Well,
fucking Starbucks. I'm trying to get something done. Like I understand that there's background noise here, but this conversation, maybe fucking stop doing that. Or here's my favorite one. I sit in a cubicle now at work. Do not have a conversation with
over
someone that
your
is on the
head.
opposite side of the fucking cubicles when I am in the middle on a phone call. Could y'all anywhere else in this building? Anywhere fucking else in this building, please. Get away from me.
I mean more like
So,
the like social game of like small talk and like asking people follow-up questions and like there's all of this and like not looking at your phone or even making eye contact. Who decided that it's so important that when you are hanging out with someone that they have to look in your eyes?
psychologists.
Like we watched a Love on the Spectrum, and this one guy the entire date couldn't look in the girl's eyes, and the girl was like, "I don't give a fuck. I don't care where you look. You're engaging with me. We're having great conversation. We're talking about amazing topics." She was like, "I literally do not care. Like, why can't everyone be like that? Why
I
can't
love
we just
that.
like
If I'm
why do
looking
we
at
have
you
these
in your
rules?"
eyes, I'm either looking at your nose
Oh yeah,
or like one eye because I
yeah.
don't know how people look into other people's eyes. Like, how is that? Like, it doesn't. It's
No, you
weird. Like,
definitely like swap back and forth, or like do something, like look at a different spot, look over their head, like look,
Yeah.
in their forehead or
yeah,
something.
I
it's
struggled
not
with that
like
on Friday a little bit. The chick I went with, it was like our second time hanging out, and now we actually like
Oh, I
we work
struggle with new people.
adjacent with each other, so technically we're like work colleagues or whatnot. So you want to keep it like respectful and professional, but you're going to a fucking smoking event. Like I'm gonna get baked, I'm gonna say some dumb shit. It's just how I am. It's just this is what you get. But it's I tried like like probing questions, ask about her, like just try to be like polite. in my head, like, you know, like, Steph, you are interested, but like the term came out in my brain, like, act interested. It's like I'm not acting, I am interested. I just like, what are questions you need to ask to know that
Well,
she knows
that's the
that you're
thing.
interested?
Like, why does it like matter if somebody is like we take so much into account of like that person's not giving me the experience back that I expect. So like if for instance somebody opens a present and maybe they're not like, "Oh my god, this is the best thing ever. Like I love this so much." Like what we expect people to react in these certain ways and then we get
Yeah.
upset when they don't. It doesn't mean that person didn't love the thing. It doesn't mean that you weren't interested in what she was saying. Like why do we have to like act certain ways to be accepted in society?
We should
I
turn the
struggle so
expectation
much.
into bids. Turn them into bids. And it's just like the acknowledgement should be enough, no matter how grandeur it is,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's a bid for connection.
Yeah. The acknowledgement that you do the thing is great.
Yeah.
I ask one question about it. That's what you get. One question.
See, like I had an interaction the other day where I was sat at, because every Sunday we sit at the dining room table in the breakfast room, and we have like a Sunday lunch. And I was asking my uncle, because he always does a barbecue for his birthday. I was like, "Oh, what kind of meat are you thinking of doing? Like, are you thinking of doing like corn on the cob, things like that?" And then like my granny was like, "You're so nosy," and I was like, "How is that?" Like it's so confusing. Like I'm just asking questions because I'm
Food.
interested and I love food, so obviously I'm like even more interested. And then like yeah, like all of a sudden I'm like nosy and I'm like, oh shit, like it's so hard to navigate things, and then it's never easy to know whether it's like genuinely I've missed a social cue or someone's just being a dick. Like I can't always tell what is appropriate and what is just someone being like, nah, they just don't like you and they're just gonna be horrible.
That is hard
Is
for
it
me too.
is it rude to kind of somewhat like discount an opinion if they're more than 30 years older than you on how you should be acting in society?
No.
Because I mean, this is me. The older you are, if you're telling me how to act in society, the less I'm gonna take you seriously because you might have been on this planet longer. I am living in the fucking real world, though.
It's like when my mom tries to give dating advice and we're like, "Mom, you literally didn't date. Like you dated in high school and then you
You
met
had no
dad when you were
experience.
18 and you got married. You never dated as an adult. And you have no idea what it's like." Like,
How to keep a marriage successful, happy, and healthy for
sure,
freaking 30 years.
amazing
Yes,
advice.
mom.
Great. I'll take it all a
Let's
day,
go.
every day, which is fantastic for me being married now. She's got good advice. But yeah,
Yes.
it's what's that thing like never take advice from people who don't have what you want already or who aren't living a life that you want. Like no matter what age they are, if somebody came to me and like gave me advice on streaming, but they were like had a really weird channel that wasn't what I wanted and their audience was like not nice, I would not take any of their advice or listen to anything that they had to say.
Right. Being human is so weird. We
It
are
is
all legit
so
just
weird,
fucking
okay?
winging
Yeah.
it. I swear to God, we tried to think of a name for the podcast, and like this was the most natural. Because I swear to God, guys, I'm faking. I'm faking every fucking waking moment of my life. I have no idea what I'm doing. I get a little bit of confidence every once in a while, and I'm like, you know what you're doing. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing half the time. It's just, what did we do yesterday? Duplicate it.
In
Yeah.
my like spirituality journey, I have like learned and what I choose to believe is that this lifetime is just like going to school for the soul. Like this experience is like our soul's education. And we're just meant to learn and to experience things and to see what it's like to be a human. So
That
that
is
kind of helps me to
incredibly
just like
beautiful.
relax about it. Like, yo, this is just school. I'm just here to learn and do shit. And like, there's no greater purpose except just learn and do stuff.
That was really
I
nice,
love
the
that.
way that you said that and everything as well, like and then because I was gonna say something, as well, and my thing was literally just, I hate that we don't have masks anymore because I make faces when people are being stupid.
Hey, you can still wear your mask if you want to.
Yeah, I forget. Sometimes
Yeah,
someone will
but
say
it
something, I'll
works
just be
well.
like
Yeah, I
And
don't
then
have a good poker face.
I was like, this is why I don't do like Zoom Teams calls with my camera on, because I'll just be like, oh, God, like
I just turn my camera off. I do. If I don't like the way the conversation's going at work, I'm sorry if anyone at work is listening to this, I turn my camera off.
yeah.
You don't want to see the look on my face, trust me.
My webcam now, I don't have an external webcam. It's on my laptop. So, and my laptop lid is always closed because I only have my two monitors. Because if I have it open, then I end up losing my mouse halfway through onto the screen. So I have it closed. So if I call somebody on Teams, I don't have my camera anyway. And even if I did, it wouldn't be square on my face like this webcam is. So I'm like, that's my excuse. This is
I
why
got
I
a
don't have a
solution for you.
camera.
I got a solution for you after podcast. You can
Okay.
pretend like you still have that same scenario so you don't have to use the camera, but I got a
Okay.
solution for you. Um,
Okay. If anyone listening at work, there's no solution.
no solution.
Nothing at all.
I pride myself on being transparent with my colleagues. Like this is me. I don't want to be a different person at work than I am in real life. Like I have a different caliber of work ethic and a way that I handle things, of course. I'll be as professional as possible, but I genuinely don't want to be a different person cuz like my job requires me to interact with the public. So eh, eh.
What's funny to me is I feel like with my colleague, like my inter, like the colleagues I spend most of my time with in my department, um, um, sorry, 2 seconds. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, those people, I don't feel like I have to mask or change who I am. I'm just very much me, which means I will swear. I'll be like, oh, what a fucking idiot. Like, oh my God, this person's so annoying. Why can't they do this simple thing? Why am I fixing their, like, they should know this. They've been here longer than me. Like, why? And nobody is bothered because I've worked there for like almost 6 years. They know me, they know what I'm like. Somehow it's easier, like, sometimes interacting with my work colleagues than it is like my in real life friends that I have to, like, because I don't go out and see them very often. I don't interact with them very often. So I feel like I'm like, I have to follow these like social cues that they've put in place rather than society has put in place. It's so confusing to just like navigate.
Your work
It
people probably
brings
do know you better because they see you every day as like the
every
real
Yeah.
day.
life you know?
I don't know if you saw my Twitter post today where it literally said that the new guy that started with us in my department, they all warned him not to talk to me about Stranger Things because
Oh my
they were
gosh.
like you'll be stuck in a conversation with her for ages. Don't do it. And he did it. He was like, oh, I'm gonna talk to her about Stranger Things. And we sit like across from each other, so that was it for the rest of the day. I'm like, oh, who's your favorite character? Oh, where are you up to? Oh, are you looking forward to season 4? Like, oh my gosh. I mean, he was warned though, so
You did receive a warning.
yeah, they warned
I
him.
can't
He just didn't take the warning.
I can't imagine like hearing somebody in a situation like tell me that person over there is really stoked about this topic, and if you ask them about it, they're going to talk to you about it a lot because they're very passionate about it. Immediately, I'd be like, "Oh, I want to go ask them."
Yeah.
Like, I just love hearing people talk about things passionately. It like fires me up too to like see other people be like so passionate and excited. Like, it totally would have had the opposite effect on me. I would have been like, "Oh, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go ask her right now. Like, let's go hear what she has to
Literally,
say."
everyone I work with like is like, Dana talks way too much. They're like, I'm like, oh, I think I'm talking too much. They're like, really? Do you think that? Like, wow, how do you
Oh
know
no.
that?
It sounds
So
like they
like,
love you though too, so it's just like playful banter mostly, hopefully.
it is like 100%. It is like there's so much banter like in where I work, so I don't take it in a bad way. But it is funny when they're like, you talk too much. I'm like, I know, but I'm gonna carry on talking too
Realistically,
much.
if you left, they probably would all cry. They probably would be very
it's
sad.
tell them, hey man, if you contributed to the conversation more, I wouldn't have to pick up your slack.
I just ask them random questions. I'm like, what's your favorite Chris? What's your favorite 3 flavors of cake? Like, tell me all your information. Tell me
Start
everything.
sending out mass emails.
You know, it's so funny because that style of communication works so good online because you can just like post in a Discord, like, what's your favorite flavor of crisp? And like 10 people will engage with the conversation. Be like, oh, mine. Oh, that's cool. This one's mine.
Instead, I'm like rapid firing at the new guy. What's your favorite quiz? Let me get to know you through your favorite food.
Just call yourself Me6 next time.
Literally. Like question of the day, but it's like question of like every 10 minutes. Like I feel like
top of the hour every hour.
yeah, I feel like if you're asking people questions about themselves as well, they're more likely to like want to open up and talk more about themselves. Like it gives people an opening like, oh yeah, my favorite crisp is this because when I went to summer camp, I had this crisp all the time or something, you know? I've never been to summer camp, so I don't know if they have crisps there, but I assume everywhere has crisps.
I've also never been to summer camp. Sounds fun though. Sounded like a thing just for movies. I don't actually know anyone that actually went to a summer camp.
Yeah, it does seem like Dustin when he goes to camp.
I think on that note, guys, we are ready to wrap it up. Thank you so much for listening in. We hope you found some value today. Join us on Discord to access resources mentioned in each episode and find your people. Next episode is tentative for June 19th. Tentative because it is Father's Day. Make sure you show the father figure in your life some love. However, our next live episode is scheduled for June 26th at 9 a.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. BST. Follow us on all major social media platforms for episode airing dates. Have a good 2 weeks, guys. We'll see you later.
Bye.